Disturbing videos of unruly passengers on airplanes have become all too common lately. Look at these. Out-of-control travelers have become increasingly aggressive, sometimes violent. The FAA has reported more than 3,600 incidents on planes this year alone, and a brand new survey out right now of nearly 5,000 flight attendants really details how dangerous things have become. 85% said they have dealt with unruly passengers this year. 17% said the incidents got physical. Let me bring in Sara Nelson, the international president of the Association of Flight Attendants. Good morning. This is the first time we are seeing the results. The public is seeing these results, and they are horrible, frankly. What do you take away from what all of your flight attendants have said?
Well, it's very difficult because I'm also looking at the individual comments about what has gone on, and flight attendants are experiencing something that we've never seen before in aviation. In fact, if we stay on this trend, we're going to have more incidents in this year alone than we've seen in the entire history of aviation. And so it's not just the things that make it on the evening news. It's the comments and disrespect and calling names and punching seatbacks and throwing trash and following flight attendants down the terminal, still yelling at them. We've just never experienced anything like this at work, and flight attendants are tired and fed up, and we cannot accept this as the new normal.
What? No, we can't. And that is stunning to say it's on pace to, to be the most ever. Do you have a sense, Sara, from all of these comments and the feedback you got from the flight attendants, as to the main driver? I know some of this has been over mask mandates, and they're just enforcing what the federal government has said they need to do in the FAA. This is also a moment of just intense political division in this country. What do you think the root driver or drivers of this are?
We often see the result of political conflict or social conflict on our planes. We see it up close and personal, and of course we're in a metal tube enclosed, and so it's more intense there. And what we have seen is that there has been conflicting information over the last year and a half about what the public should be doing, what they should believe. And what that's doing is it's bringing people to the door of the airplane really confused and under the guise that we're in conflict with each other. And I want to be really clear, Poppy, this is actually a relatively small group of people who are acting out like this, but it's bigger and more common than anything we've ever seen before, and is more pervasive throughout the plane. So normally in the past we would have had one passenger, maybe two, acting out, and we have the rest of the passengers to help us create order and to help us tamp that down. And now what we're seeing is that everyone is coming to the door of the plane inexperienced, unsure of the procedures. We have more workload because of that, and then the ones who are acting out, we're not able to get to fast enough to de-escalate and calm that down. All of these things are contributing factors, and it's alcohol, it is mask compliance, but it's also just basic compliance with safety regulations that have been in place for decades.
What makes this, I think, even more troubling that I saw reading through this just released report, Sara, is that 71% of flight attendants told you that who filed incidents with their management that they didn't get a response. So I'm wondering, what your message is to those in power, and also, to the FAA and those other agencies.
Well, look, there's a couple things that we have to be doing here. There's much more that can be done across aviation, coordination with the airlines, airports, law enforcement. We can do a lot more to keep these problems on the ground, because what we also saw is that there are indications many times in the airport or in the gate, and those people are coming on the planes, and then the vast majority of incidents are actually happening in flight when we don't have anywhere to go or anywhere to put these people. There has got to be a better coordination, a better response from the airlines. We also put out this survey because the FAA has really taken this very seriously, and since January 13th, FAA Administrator Steve Dixon put in place the zero tolerance policy. The FAA has put out all kinds of communications, even children telling people how to behave, and communicating those consequences, and that has been very helpful. It's been helpful to have that backing from the federal government, but we need DOJ to step in and use the statute that is already in place. People can face up to 20 years in prison. We need criminal prosecution so that people take this seriously, and we also need better coordination. We need DOT to bring the entire industry together to have better coordination and response in keeping these problems on the ground.
Well, let's end on this. I want to show our viewers some video of a fascinating piece our Pete Montine did yesterday, if they haven't seen it yet. And this is basically a TSA-led self-defense training seminar for flight attendants. Can you tell us what he reported is that, you know, a small number have signed up. Is this something that you're encouraging all of your union members to go through to help?
We always encourage flight attendants to take this class. It is a voluntary class, so they have to do it on their time off and at their cost to get to the training, so it makes it very difficult. It really should be mandatory training as a part of our regular training that is paid for by the airlines, so that every flight attendant can have access to this and have the repeat lessons that allow them to be able to respond quickly when they are startled. So I've been through the class. It is very helpful. It helps you just understand better how to stand, better how to protect yourself. Very helpful training. It was on pause for a while because of COVID, and TSA has figured out how to get it started back up again, because that's where we are. We need martial arts in order to defend ourselves on the plane.
Sadly. Sara Nelson, thank you. Thanks for your leadership. We'll have you back soon.
Thank you, Poppy.